Well, seeing is like putting a jigsaw puzzle together. Somebody changed the pieces. I do have a good windshield front piece here, and it's got a lip on it. I'm pretty sure this lip goes inside the door, and it's got a cutout here that I've got almost matching the where it's supposed to go. I took what little lead was off of this side. Now they welded an angle iron and a 1/4-inch piece of steel in here. Looks like they were trying to fill this gap. So this is what somebody was trying to do. But this has not been modified, this bracket or whatever, and it needs to go back probably about 1/2 inch. On the other side, this was all leaded up, and this one here fit pretty good right in here, but it was all lead. I need to weld it. So I heated up, took all this lead off. I've got a cutout here, supposed to fit this hinge, and that gives me my vertical. I've just got it clamped on the brace here, and it's got to go in about 1/2 inch. So I've got this angle here with a, well, it's kind of like a H channel or something, and I've almost got it where it fits behind the door. I got like 1/4 inch, and this is 1/2 inch wide, and you can see this kind of 1-inch hole I got in here. So I think what I got to do is cut this back edge off of this and flatten this whole thing out here. So this will go up against the vertical I got made, and that'll put this lip behind the door. And use this notch here to center it on the hinge. So basically, I'm going to make this fit the top of the door. Then I'm going to tack it on here to where it's straight. This side still had a lip on it. It hadn't been cut off. And I think this lip is supposed to go behind this door. It's got a cutout right here, and that's approximately where the hinge is. And I think that's what this is supposed to do. It's supposed to fit in behind the door, and the door slams on this edge. So this has got to go back about 1 inch. And on this side, I think they welded this abortion here into it to try to fill that gap. But if this is only, 3/4 of an inch, not even that, it's 1/2 inch, this is way too much. It's going to hold that cowl way out on this side. So what I got to do is make these pieces go on here, fit the frame, and then from there I'll have to adjust this cowl to where it fits. I've got the frame, you know, where I designed the brackets there. It's spread out quite a bit, but basically the frame is centered on the car. So this side's going to be the toughest, mostly because I'm going to have to cut this out of here. Don't know exactly what I'll do. I think I can probably reach in here with a cut-off tool behind the door. See if this thing is open. No, I'm hitting my I've got it clamped. So I'll have to unclamp it, cut that out. So basically, that's what I got to do. I got to remove this so I can, I'm going to assume that this is the best piece that hasn't been modified. Put that where it goes, and then I'm going to have to make the cowl match that. It's like putting a jigsaw puzzle together that somebody's whittled on the pieces. But this one here is pretty unmolested, and so, and this is also my best door, best cowl, best everything. So I'll try to get this figured out, and then I'll mount this bottom part of the cowl. I doubt if my holes are going to be any good down here. I don't think it's going to fit the stock configuration. Who knows, I might get it all together and it will fit. But the first thing is to modify this piece, getting it in there where it fits on the door, tack it in, and then try to get the cowl to fit. Well, this basically, I think, is good as I'm going to get this. Got it clamped in the middle here. I've got about a 3/8 of an inch gap. I can't really do too much more with it. This is looks like the door just barely starting to cover that. I can line it up, you know, this way with it by moving it out a little and moving it in a little here. See, I've got it pretty straight. Like I said, there's not a lot I can do with this. But that means this cowl now has got to go back. Oh, whatever. Almost an inch. So that means, of course, these holes are no longer any good, which don't really care too much about. So I guess that's the first thing. This is gonna dictate to some degree the height of the cowl, because I've got to, this is going where it's going because it's got a notch in here for the hinges for that one hinge. But it did bring this in, so I think a 1-inch piece here on the end will mostly fill that up. Instead of putting it on the inside like I was thinking, I'll just cut all this off and weld it flush against the front of this thing. And I'll have to do something about this gap. I guess what I'll do is make this bottom of the cowl fit this to where this edge right here is flush with this, so I got to come back 1/2 inch. Well, that's what I'll do. Try to move it back 1/2 inch, and got a porta power over there, so shouldn't be too hard to do. We'll get this back 1/2 inch. Try to line this up. Get this bowl out of here, whatever that happens to be. See, and I've got a place here. This is supposed to cover the hinge down here, or go around it. So this kind of dictated where we're going. Now we just have to get there. I got this welded in. My gap's not very good. A 1/4 inch up here top, nothing down at the bottom. But I've got it welded onto the hinge brace. And I've got it in too far here. Of course, this can probably be fixed a little with the hammering at the door, but it's basically where it needs to go. Close enough. I can alter the rest of this with bondo. So, and my 1.5 inch piece here, what turned out to be was the original 2-inch piece. So I raised this up another 1/2 inch. And this one's good. I'm still right here on the edge of this on my frame. This moved back about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. I'm not really worried about that too much. Yeah, this one's moved back too. So I'll put 2 inches under this one. Turn off my stuff here. Still got a little gas. I ain't gonna go much further with it. But I'll sort this cowl out here best I can, and then we'll figure out what we're going to have to do about this. I'm sure I'm going to have to cut it out. But anyway, I'll get this sorted out. Same side to side, and then I'll worry about what this piece looks like later. I clamped this one here in a little bit. I got 15 3/4 on the other side from here to here, and or 15 1/2, and this one's 15 3/4. So I got to move it in 1/4 inch. You can see that this little brace here is going to interfere, and I'm on the inside of this conglomeration they put here. I'm going to try to cut this next to this 1/4 inch piece here, and hopefully I can use this this edge, just weld it into this frame to weld this cowl to it. If so, that'll make it pretty good. So I just have to get these distances the same, and then I can weld the rest of this cowl to match the door, and we'll press on. Time for lunch. I got this 1/4 inch plate cut off of here. Why anybody would use something this thick, don't know, but luckily it was just tacked on the outside. I was able to get it off pretty easy. So now I'm going to try to get this cowl forward a little, get it over the top of this this 90. It's got a pretty good shape in it, and clean it up, and I think I can tack this on, and we'll see what happens. That's welded in. I got a pretty good gap in it. Of course, that bracket was in there 1/4 inch, so that means I'm gonna have to build this up with bondo, 1/4 inch. But at least it's all solid. I got my bottom of my cowl here lined up with the door. This hole here, just the only way I can measure it, from the edge of the hole to the bottom of the door is just a little over 6 1/2 inches. And on this side, we got 6 1/2 inches. So this side's just a little smaller than the other side, 1/4 inch. But this is in, matches the door. I got to build this up with bondo. The curve's pretty much out of it. This one's in, pretty straight. Looks like I'm about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches off of the 2 holes here. And this one looks like it's about the same. Now these brackets can be bent around some, so I can't really go by that. I can just go by what it roughly is. So it's in the this one here is kind of hard to open. Here we go. The half latch is the bad part. The door's still working good. Closes good. Other side the same. I've got it all unclamped now. Shouldn't have any trouble opening and closing it, especially this one. It's closing straight. So finally this cowl is mounted. I'll need to do a little more measuring. Looks like this is off of the frame 1/4 of an inch, and that one there looks like about the same. So looks like it's still centered. I don't know about the height from the edge to the floor. Looks like this passenger one is a little low. I believe my car is still straight. Yeah, within a degree or so. So I'll measure this from the floor now and see what I got here.